Welcome to the Land, Leisure and Tourism podcast, where we explore fresh ideas to drive innovation, inspiration and growth across the land, leisure and tourism business. Our mission to empower businesses and arm you with the knowledge to help you grow and succeed in the tourism industry. I'm your host, Agustina, and today we're diving into the world of rural holiday letting. I'm here with Katie from Sykes Holiday Cottages. Welcome, Katie.
Welcome to glorious Wales.
I'm so excited to be here. We are here at Tanwar, and it is absolutely lovely. How are you doing, Katie, today?
Well, amazing Welsh pronunciation, I must say. I've got to say that. Yeah, it's fantastic. I'm really, really well, thank you. Yeah, I'm good.
Oh, happy to have you here. And can you tell us a little about Sykes and what maybe a day in the life for you looks like?
So a day in the life for me. So on my role at Sykes, I'm the events and sponsorship manager. So I go to events, I talk to new owners that are looking to bring on properties with us, whether they have, an old barn that they want to renovate, or if they've got a piece of land, greenfield site they want to diversify. So it's kind of land and country and coastal properties that I kind of look after.
And it sounds a lot of networking as well,
Lots of networking, speaking to customers as well, speaking to different suppliers of hot tubs, bits and pieces like that, really.
That sounds lovely.
Yeah.
It sounds like a fun job.
It is.
And like you mentioned, we're here in beautiful Wales. Can you tell us how you met the owners of the cottages here today?
So I met Alwyn and Leah back in November 2021 at the Farm Business Innovation Show. It was actually only my second week working at Sykes, so it threw me right into the deep end because it's a really, really busy event for us. The first thing I remember is when I met them, the enthusiasm and the excitement they had when it came to diversifying their land. And that excitement only spilled over into the visit, which myself and a colleague came to a couple of weeks later. And I was saying when I walked into the property today, when I saw it, it was literally just a shell. And it's developed into this incredible holiday let. We visited again in July 2022. Once, they've done a bit more finishing features. And then I believe they went live in September 2022 as well with their first pod. And it's been up from there, really. Another thing I remember when I first met them is how young they both were and how, they're so brave taking that leap into diversification. And that was only backed up when I spoke to Alwyn's father. And I realised how important it was, not only to the couple, but to the family and to the farm.
That's beautiful, because also it sounds like you've been through the whole, journey, and it's such a beautiful project that you get to be a part of and help and, get to give that advice that maybe starting out a new project, it's so important to have that perspective from your experience as well. It's
been a whole process. And as I said, walking in today, I was just absolutely blown away. It's incredible.
Oh, that's beautiful. I feel like it's probably very fulfilling as well to say,
incredibly
look at this
fulfilling.
Amazing place. That is beautiful. And like you're saying, it's a beautiful place to be at, beautiful pods. What was the approach you took with these unique places, and what is a piece of advice that you would give for people to get noticed with such a place?
So, with pods like these, they're so unique. It takes a unique marketing perspective. So they're like a blend, really. So it's a bit like glamping. So it's a blend of, you've got your creature comforts and you've got your amenities, but you walk outside that door and it's just so idyllic and so, nature inclusive. It's amazing. I think as well, eco-friendly features definitely play a massive part in properties like this. And we are seeing that as a trend. People are becoming a lot more, they're thinking about their impact on the world, and they're definitely making that decision when it comes to picking their next holiday let. I might add as well a bit of 90s nostalgia, and I'm totally showing my age here, which is embarrassing. These look like Teletubby houses, which is like incredible. And also, if you are a bit of a Lord of the Rings fan, it is the most perfect getaway. Like, who needs New Zealand when you've got the rolling Welsh hills behind you? Like, I only live about 20 minutes down the road, but I would come and stay here, especially with the spa on site. Yes. What an absolute treat.
Absolutely stunning. And you're so right. I think it's the perfect place to get away, and you can, feel, the minute I walked in, I was like, oh, I'm in the Lord of the Rings, and definitely felt that happening. But yeah, it's absolutely stunning to have this so close to home as well. So you might have to pop over more
Yeah,
often.
no, definitely.
And, like you mentioned with diversifying and having more things to offer to the customers, from your experience with other properties, having spas or unique experiences, is this something that you would encourage to other people to increase bookings?
100%. It's looking at what guests you want to encourage to book your property and thinking about, what is going to enhance their stay? What is going to make them rebook? We have about 54% of our owners that rebook with us every year, which is amazing. They go back to the same property every year because they've received amazing customer service and they love it. In terms of what we would suggest, you're going to get more bookings, and actually you're going to receive then, you can charge a little bit more for people to stay at your property. So all you're doing is maximising your revenue as an owner. So that never hurts.
That is such a good point. And as well, it's like you're saying, you're building this experience and coming back. I can see myself, if I came stay here, I would definitely want to come back because it has this homey feeling. Like it can become a second home. Like, this holiday that you take every year with your family or a special place for you.
Yeah, and they've maximised. They've done so well with, the space that we're in. You look outside and think, oh, that's small. You come inside, there's so much room. And they've really maximised the space really well.
And also, I love going back to what you mentioned about sustainability as well. I think that is so important and something we talk about at the events quite a lot as well. Do you have any examples, for example, of different practices that you would recommend holiday owners?
So I'm nowhere near an expert in this, but you don't have to put solar panels and take that massive step and that that financial gain on that. So it's just stuff like changing the light bulbs to like eco-efficient light bulbs. It's encouraging guests to recycle properly. It's it's if you're on a farm like we are today, it's a piece of education how like sustainable farming is. There's no reason why you can't leave that in the welcome pack or information about that, especially if there's families coming to the property. Really, really important.
That is beautiful because, again, it starts with little steps and then eventually can turn into, a whole trend, maybe inspire other places to do it as well.
Exactly, especially when, this property is a diversification. So, it's talking about where your local materials have come from and, it's making sure that people understand how important this is.
I love that. And also promoting the local economy as well.
It is. And, it links in well with us because we're a B Corp business.
And now that you're saying, overcoming these little things, starting out with new projects, what do you think were some little aspects or challenges that you helped the holiday owners overcome?
So this property was fairly easy for us, which is really, really nice. And we're very, very lucky. But I will be candid, holiday letting is not easy. It's not an easy path sometimes, but that's why we're here to support our owners every step of the way. So, that's through a full management system. So it's from, taking your bookings and the marketing to guest communication. We're here every step of the way for our owners, including, we have support in our offices at all times. So if owner has any questions, concerns, we're more than happy to answer that 24/7.
That is really good because you just never know when, hospitality is a 24-hour
Yeah,
business. So you never know when something is going to happen, when you're going to need something. So that's really good to know as well that they can have that support as well. And now speaking of guests as well and visiting, what trends do you see with people that can visit this specific location?
So I think trends completely changed during COVID-19. So what we're tending to see currently is there seems to be about 5 different trends when it comes to rural properties in particular. So the first one are families. Everybody still wants to get away together. I think COVID-19 allowed people to appreciate that, that groups coming together. Next one is remote workers. So people who, have that opportunity to bring their work with them. They'll tend to, book a little bit longer, but then they'll mix that sort of leisure and business, which is quite nice. I mean, if you were sat here on a laptop, just looking at that view makes so everything better. It makes your emails look a lot better. Yeah, definitely does. The next one is nature seekers. So, someone that might have a very urban lifestyle that really wants to submerge themselves into the rural rural lifestyle. And we do find that they are looking for that enhancement of like an outdoor activity, outdoor pursuit. The fourth one, you've got your eco-conscious travellers. So it's back to, you know, people that are really, you know, taking this into consideration when booking their next accommodation. Finally, it's your wellness seekers, which is really apt in that, you know, Alwyn and Leah have got that gorgeous spa just across the way there.
That sounds like a beautiful combination, and also a nice variety as well, because when thinking of what to do, where to expand, like the spa, you know, there's so many little things that you can do for each group as well, and bring this whole place together. Yeah. So when it comes to potential holiday property owners, why should they pick Sykes? What do you guys have that is unique to other people?
Well, I'm obviously biased, but I think Sykes stands out for several reasons when it comes to supporting potential holiday owners. First, we offer, you know, that comprehensive management system. So everything from marketing to guest communication, allowing the owners to actually focus on their property and enjoy it, because that's what it's all about. We want you to enjoy your property. Our market research ensures that, you know, properties, our market reach, we get a diverse group of bookers, and we make sure we're encouraging people to use different channels to market the properties through. Additionally, we've got, obviously, as I mentioned, that dedicated support team. And we also offer, which is different to most companies, we actually offer, you know, massive insights and marketing data. So when it comes to making decisions such as, you know, nightly pricing, property pricing, and property enhancements, it becomes a very black or white decision for the owner. We also love a bit of technology at Sykes Cottages, so we have an exclusive owner app that we encourage our owners to download. It just allows our owners to accept bookings, make changes to listings, respond to guests, and, you know, it's convenience, and that's what we want to make it as convenient as possible.
That sounds amazing, very complete.
Yeah.
You mentioned briefly about marketing. What kind of approach do you take when it comes to these kinds of properties?
So we take a multifaceted approach on these properties because they are so unique. We want to make sure that they stand out versus, you know, your traditional accommodation. So when I say multifaceted, I mean, you know, we highlight how amazing these pods are through visuals, so through professional photography, but then we also back that up with storytelling by the great property descriptions that we put on our website. And we also do this through, you know, social media channels, where, again, we put stunning pictures up and we get guest testimonials. And I do actually have a really interesting guest testimonial from this actual pod, from a couple of bookings, which I'd love to share if I can.
Please, I'd love to hear it.
This is the first one. A 2-night stay to take our autistic son somewhere quiet, which it was. Also something different. He loved the hot tub and seeing the sheep in the field. Absolute peace and quality. Great communication with the owners, shops not too far away, and a great butcher's. So that's a big shout out to Ricky Lloyd's of Welshpool. If you know, you know, people. And the second one, it was the most amazing and tranquil place we've ever stayed at. Such peace and quiet. The pod has everything anyone can ask for. It's magical and the views are just breathtaking. The little welcome presents of fresh eggs, Welsh cakes and wine were a lovely surprise. The hot tub and the optional spa treatments by Leah are a very nice bonus. Absolutely love the place. Thanks to the lovely and welcoming hosts. I'm hoping to come back again. And that's all I need to say about that. Amazing feedback.
That is amazing. It sounds like you're saying, you know, it feeds into that storytelling of the place, that peacefulness.
It does. But also, you know, that we do other things online. So to ensure that you get those bookings, we are quite aggressive with our online advertising to make sure we get those different demographics and you get that reach.
That sounds amazing. And I feel like with social media as well, you know, advertising that, you can also get that community as well of people, you know, because they're like, oh, you guys promoted this, maybe we can also trust this. And you build that trust in that community with other people.
And we use influencers on social media, so we get to, you know, sort of piggyback onto their audience too. And it's very authentic. And I think that's what people really appreciate.
That sounds really good because it's that relatable content as well as seeing the experience of it as well. Yeah. I love that. And also now that influencers get to travel, what would you say is your favourite staycation spot around the UK?
Oh, I feel like I'm going to get shouted at by the whole of Wales for not saying Wales. I would say the Cotswolds. In particular, I love Bourton on the Water. It is so picturesque, riverside walks, lovely bridges, charming little pubs. And let's not forget the offering from, Clarkson's Farm. I am absolutely desperate to get in the farmer's dog with a pint and meet Gerald. That is my number one ambition for the rest of this year.
Gotta make it happen then.
Yes.
I recently got to visit the Cotswolds and it's absolutely stunning.
It really
Cottages.
is.
It's just very peaceful as well.
Yes, it is. It's gorgeous.
And now mentioning again the term staycation, I feel like it's become really, really popular since COVID-19 that you briefly mentioned as well, the impact on the guests as well. But where do you see the future of staycation heading with all these changes that came a couple years ago?
So the rise of the staycation has certainly changed the landscape in terms of holiday letting, and at Sykes Holiday Cottages we can only see a promising future ahead. People have developed a deeper appreciation for the UK and the locations here, and I feel like the staycation is a trend that's just going to continue. We anticipate growing demand for unique, flexible accommodations that's, suitable for a range of preferences. So anything from cosy cottages through to luxurious retreats. Sorry, I put my teeth back in. Sustainability, as I mentioned, sorry to go on about that again, but it's going to play a massive part, as well as technology. Technology is going to only enhance that guest experience, which is just so vital in holiday letting and tourism.
Yeah, and it also, like you were mentioning, the app that you guys have, it is making not only for the owners an easier experience, but also for the customer, because the customers are just getting used to making everything so quick. So it's nice that you guys can provide that for, that side.
Exactly. Yeah.
That is amazing. Well, we'll keep going on many staycations, I'm sure. It is a lovely country to go traveling around. So before we wrap up, would you like to tell me a little about your experience with the Land, Leisure and Tourism Show and the Farm Business Innovation Show?
Yeah, of course. So we've been going to the show since it started, really. It's one of our biggest shows throughout the year. All of our staff members love going to that show because there's so much enthusiasm and excitement and passion around diversification. And as I mentioned earlier on, Alwyn and Leia are just proof of that, and how, special it is to allow a company like ours to actually be involved in that process. It's a great couple of days, it's super busy, and I just love meeting everybody.
I think it's back to that people person. You get to network, put faces to people that maybe you're already working with, or new people that you could potentially help. So
yeah, and it's great for the industry to network as well. And as it's now developed into land, leisure and tourism, it's kind of opened it up a little bit more to different audiences, which again, is just super exciting and just so many opportunities for us. If you are thinking of holiday letting, or you may be already holiday let, or diversification, you just want a little bit of guidance, we're in the Farm Business Innovation Zone, right at the front, stand FM 642, that's a great memory of me there, and we look forward to speaking to you and guiding people on their holiday letting journey.
Thank you so much, Katie, for joining us today. It's been lovely speaking to you. And thank you so much to our listeners for tuning in to the Land, Leisure and Tourism podcast. Make sure to tune into part 2, where we're going to be speaking with Leah and Alwyn, who are the owners of this wonderful, wonderful place. And until then, keep discovering new opportunities.